Good day, beautiful soul family, and welcome back to On Another Level. And today I would love to put some attention on angels. How they're present in our life, in all times, all situations. And upon waking up, I pray, and I had a dream that it wasn't really a dream. It's like a continuum, and it's, you know what, Divine Spirit is telling me it's more like the more you're sensitive, okay, the more you're sensitive to life, the more you are able to edge out the noise and the distractions, the more you'll be able to see, and the more you'll be able to hear. The Divine Spirit is telling me it's all about the subtlety. That's why if you want to hide something, you put it in front of their face. You see it, so it's blatant, but you don't really see. And so I was watching this video, and it was about angels. And I myself have come in contact. I myself have my own experiences with angels. And there are earth angels. There are many types of angels. And they don't want to be known, to be worshipped. You know, Divine Spirit is telling me that angels are like, they're beings like, okay, so you know how you see a person and they're from a different country, right? And you could tell by their dressing, you could tell by their accents. There's just different things about a person who is not from your area, from your state, even from your country. And it's just, that's pretty much it. They're not from this planet. And they sure enough are not from the world. But what's so interesting, it's brought out in the Bible. It says, don't serve me. Don't worship me. I am your brother. And we have to see the angels. Divine Spirit is telling me people don't believe because they don't see angels. And so something they don't exist. Something they only come about, you know, whenever we're hearing about disastrous events, that's when they appear. What's so interesting is that Divine Spirit is telling me that in order to see the angels, you must change your perceptions of angels. Sometimes we tend to look at things that we do not know as something bigger than us when it's not. Divine Spirit is telling me that, you know, they say when we see angels is at nighttime. But we don't see angels during the times where we're excited and celebrating. But angels are still there too. There are different types of angels, like I've stated. And they all help us on our journey. What's so marvelous is that these angels are of unconditional love. And if you really pay attention, you can see little twinklings. In some areas, they will show themselves to you. Sometimes they will give you wisdom. That you are to take heed, okay? And what I love, the reason why I'm even doing this video is because, one, angels help you to understand that. And understanding angels and the presence that they are in your life. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to worry. To the point of dread. Okay? You be aware, but that aware is not a fear. Awareness is not of fear. It's not generated by fear. Don't be run by fear. So there are different things that I caught from this video. The Divine Spirit was speaking to me. And one of the things that I absolutely love is I've channeled this in another video where the Divine Spirit was telling me that all the people, major league karmics, that are bringing forth this major deception, the Divine Spirit was saying, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do. But each and every person in their skies will see an invader that they will not be able to swindle, make a contract with. They can't do anything about it. They can't hide. It will always know where they're at. And the thing about it is, it doesn't make any sense why you would throw a rock and hide your hand because you're being seen. You're likened to a mouse in a maze. And truly, it's amazing how you think you're hidden, but you're watched. And that's why I know karmics are children, and not in a good sense. Anyways, Divine Spirit was, and upon seeing this, what's so beautiful is that they may just see you. And this goes for two different ways, all right? But a host, a karmic, this is what Divine Spirit is showing me. So we have a karmic, aka host. And then we have a divine being, a person who is there on their path, okay? And so it's like two different sides of the street. Everything is in play, all right? And so what's so interesting is that the karmic may be working with a demon, right? It's so interesting how a karmic works with a demon, but they don't understand that an angel is working with a divine being. Anyways, so the karmic may or may not know, is working with a demon, whether they know it or not. And they see a divine being or a person, a person, okay? They see a person that is on their path, and they send blocks or whatever they can send. And the thing about it is that there's an angel that is covering them. They don't see it because their eyes are not trained to see it, because it takes intellect, it takes wisdom, it takes a connection to Divine Spirit. And so whatever is influencing them, okay, whatever is influencing them will also blind their eyes. Whatever is influencing them is hoping that the person is so much run by fear, run by anger, You know, there are different snares that comes, different arrows that comes. One is fear, one is anger, one's insult. And all of these things can be thrown at the same time or one at a time to chip away. But so family, I encourage you that you are not alone, one. And do not be disrupted, because these are just different tactics so that that can prevent your ascension. Okay? Because right about now, well, I don't want to say about now, but we're in a time frame in which so much is sent, so much is sent so that, or have been sent to get you to fight back. Do not get distracted with even fighting back. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Stay focused on divine spirit. What you should be doing right now, beautiful soul family, is you should be making sure that your light is filled with oil. This is when you put in self-care. This is when you prepare. Make sure that you're reading the Bible. Okay? Make sure that you're remembering scriptures. Because these are things that can't be taken away. At this appointed time, this is about you taking away layers. Taking away layers and throwing it away. And the only thing that you hold on to is spirit and truth. Because it's one thing for someone else to take away from you, and it happens so that way it aids in the process of you taking away layers, right? But don't try to hold on to anything. There are the 10 brides. 5 of them prepare, and 5 of them didn't. The 5 that didn't prepare, they were in the world. Maybe fighting, maybe not bringing forth closure to cycles, being busy with distractions, hurts and pains of the world. But what you're to do, beautiful soul family, is do not be distracted. You are already told what is going on. Do not be distracted by it. Get the Bible. Pray to divine spirit. Write down scriptures. It's likened to a medicine bag. So you have some of this, and you have some of that. You got some peppermint, you got some lavender, you got some essential oils. And as you are getting your bag together to, you know, your healing kit together, right? You're not focused on all the different things that are going on around you, because you are knowing. And so at this appointed time, this is for you to go within. This is for you to say, okay, I have the word. Check. I am building a strong bond with divine spirit, the archangels and the guardian angels. Check. I'm utilizing forgiveness every second, every minute of my day. Life. Check. You're filling up your oil. You're making sure that you have enough oil to keep your light on. And divine spirit is telling me this is that time frame. We have guardian angels that have been with us while in the midst and even after birth. And so it's about being in agreements. I think I'm going to name this agreements. Agreements and about angels. the angels already are in agreement with divine spirit. And as we become aware, okay, this is not a time frame to fight, because it's just part of their schemes. Let me go ahead and fill my oil up. Let me go ahead and make sure I have certain things in order. Let me continue to stay focused on divine spirit. Let me continue to be in agreement. Let me continue to be calm and in peace. See, because the whole thing about it is that the deception is about dividing you even the more. Divine Spirit is telling me separating you so far out and pulling so much apart, cutting your arms off, cutting your legs off, cutting your head off, cutting you up and dispersing you to where you can't be connected again. But they're doing this in a way in which you don't know is happening. They're doing this to humanity. And so, the 5 brides, well, how? How are they getting their lights together? How are they getting this oil? Because the thing about it is that the 5 brides that didn't get their oil together was asking, wanting the 5 brides that did get themselves together to give them some of their oil. And they said, I couldn't do that. The thing is, why couldn't they just give them some of their oil? It's because it's not really literally the oil. It is all the things that you had to do, which is what I'm saying now. Staying connected to divine spirit, reading the Bible, writing down scriptures, nuzzling in your heart, so that you can walk down that path in retrieving that information, knowing how to be still and calm. Now, there are different facets of ourselves, but when your foundations are built on love, when you're firmly rooted and grounded in love and not in the world, then divine spirit will always quench your thirst. You will always be nourished. You don't have to worry about the sun, the moon, or anything else, because you have everything within you. And so to that degree, you can't waffle that. You can't give someone your energy. Now, we already know that people take energy all the time. But once they take that energy is gone, because they don't know how to sustain it. And so they're in a vicious cycle of always taking someone else's energy. But you have the wealth of energy within you because you're staying in tune. You see, what's so interesting is that the world will have you to pile so much on. But the truth is about taking it all off. Layers off. And understanding that you don't need anything in order to live. You don't need any of that. All of it is wants. And so that's why the 5 brides, they can't just give the oil, because within each oil that is meant to keep their light going, it's all about actions. And that takes time. I believe strongly that is the self-love, self-care, self-nurture. I can't give you my oil because how I acquired my oil came over time. And so the 5 brides that were distracted in so many other areas or whatever, tempted, distracted, and disturbed, they have no energy, they have no oil. We don't put it into the world. You're to live your purpose. And as you live in your purpose, you will always be abundant in energy, right? But you also have to take time to take your energy, utilize your energy for the long haul. I am going to read the scriptures. I am going to fill myself up with divine Spirit's word. I am going to plant those seeds that will bring forth a beautiful harvest. These are the things that I am doing now. And so it doesn't matter what the karmics do. Neighborhood karmics, past karmics, overall karmics. It doesn't matter what they do, because you have your guardian angel guiding you. What is so marvelous is that also part of this video, and I hope I'm still recording, is that, let me just go for trust, is that there was this lady, and she was walking down an alley, and she prayed, and angels were with her, and the person didn't attack her. But then 20 minutes later, that same person that was at the end of the street went ahead and attacked somebody else. And she went down to the police station, and she pointed out the guy to be as any help that she could. I just need to really see if this is recording. And she asked the angel, well, not the angels, but she said she just wanted to know why the person didn't attack her. And he said, because you had two large people there, you weren't alone. And you know, it's just so interesting that the one that was going to assault her saw two people beside her. All she did was pray. And it's really about perception. Okay? It's about perception. And it brings me back to when Divine Spirit was telling me that all the people that bring forth deception to overcome your will, their skies will always be invaded. They will see it, and they will be gripped in fear. They will receive all the harvest that they have put in your life, or thought they put in your life. Another situation was, there was a story in the very beginning, and I'm going to put this in the description box because I think it is beautiful. And there was a couple, and I think some people were coming to overtake them. And they prayed, the couple prayed. And the people that were coming to overtake them decided to leave. Now some time later came, and the person that was the head of whatever group that was, he became a Christian. And he said that you had a lot of people. He said that he had a lot of people there, and that's why they left. And so from these two instances, all you're doing, you may not see the angels, but your enemies will see the angels in due timing. And the thing about it is that when a person is coming against you, they don't see the angels there. But right when they're about to attack, you see, because they're not going to show themselves, they understand the mind frame of humanity, very delicate. And so they don't want to show themselves to where you are in awe and you worship them. They don't do that. They stay behind the scenes. When I think about it, it's amazing, because it goes to show how much power you think someone has over you. and they don't have any power at all. And so the more, it's not about being seen. It's whenever I think about angels, I'm just in awe. Not to a point of worshiping, but understanding that we are not alone. As I brought out, it's like an angel is saying, listen, I'm your brother. I may not look like you, but I am your spiritual brother. Brethren is what Divine Spirit is telling me. I am your spiritual brethren. And I am with you. Staying in connection, that's also how you are keeping together your oil. It's about Divine Spirit's words. It's about understanding there are angels. It's about knowing that your needs are met, will always be met. It's about not going after the wants of the world. Okay? And when you think about this, these things you can't just give over. Because these things, you have it, but they have to be maintained. It's knowingness. And this is why it's so important to go within. Because it does take time. This is not a lustful relationship. This is a loving relationship. And love nurtures. You nurture love. You don't nurture lust. Also, in filling up your light, filling up your oil, is about preparation. Really, that's what it's about. And each drop is different things that you do in your life. You're investing in yourself. So when you see your oil to keep your lights going, it's all the preparations. It's all the times that you went into hermit mode. Drip for drip for drip. And you see that you can't give that over. Divine Spirit is telling me with the oil is that it's anointed oil. This anointed oil is not used out of fear. You can get a person who can have state-of-the-art camping gear, survival gear, but the one thing that can ruin that is fear. Fear will make you bust through all of your stuff. And then once you finally come down, you're looking around, you have nothing much left. And so with this anointed oil that keeps your light on, there is no ingredients of fear. You see, because the energy of fear is already gripped with the 5 brides. Okay? They already have fear written all over them. And so even if you gave a little bit of your oil, they will bust right through it. So it's about understanding how to maintain, understanding how to be calm. All of these things are happening as you are going within with self-love, self-care, self-nurture. All of these things are happening as you're reconnecting with Divine Spirit. All of these things is what happens when you're in agreement. And so, really this helps me to understand the oil that keeps your light on in a deeper way. And why it can't be just handed over. Also, Divine Spirit is telling me that because they will bust through it, because they have that energy of fear on them, that they really won't appreciate it. Divine Spirit is telling me that, okay, drop for drop, right? Each drop is you investing in yourself. You taking away fear. You understanding courage. And so when you understand the concentration of each drop, if you give just a little bit of oil, they would think, why are you giving me such a little bit? But they're not understanding that the oil is measured in drops. So interesting, because Divine Spirit is telling me that they have to do so much to turn on their light, to see the light that is within them. Okay? And so if they're not seeing the light that is already within them, then they feel like they have to have so much. And so that's an energy that must be let go. Again, it's layers that are taken away. And so they have to do that inner work in order to understand that they only need a drop of oil at a time. In order to understand the true concentrations of each drop. You know, there are people who work hard. And let's say they work. They go out and work. And then they have money. Right? A paycheck. And then someone who doesn't have a job and they chose not to work and they ask for a handout and you give them, let's say they're asking for 100 and you give them 50. I remember a person came to my door. Never met this person before. And they asked for 2 rolls of toilet paper. I went, I gave them 1 roll of toilet paper. And this person looked at me like, thank you. And they were upset that I didn't give them 2. They weren't even understanding the fact that I gave them 1. I gave them what they needed. I didn't give them what they wanted. And so they didn't appreciate it. She gave and then she said, thank you. It's so interesting. And so to that degree, this is why. They will truly not understand the importance of each concentrated drop. In this world, like I said, they make you feel like you need to have so much. But when you understand what's going on, when you take the shackles from your eyes, the blindfold from your eyes, and you're able to see, wow, this wonderful power that is within you. You see, that's the importance of self-love, self-care, self-nurture. When you understand, okay, what am I giving? You know, you can give so much of yourself. And then because that person is not engaged with self-love, self-care, self-nurture, they don't really understand and to come to a point of appreciation. You see? But when you go within with self-love, self-care, self-nurture, you understand that there is a difference between needs and wants. You understand that your light is so bright and so beautiful within that as you're putting forth that work, you only need droplets to keep that light going, because you're still reading the Bible, you're still praying, you're still being in connection to Divine Spirit. You see? Divine Spirit is telling me it's a well-oiled machine. And so the machine is not broken down. See, there's preventative maintenance and then there is real maintenance. And that real maintenance is when that machine has been broke down. And so you have to do so much, maybe even you have to open up the mechanics and go in, find out what's going on. Okay, but with preventative maintenance, you don't have to do all of that. And so that's why it's just, you're not able to give them your oil. Divine Spirit is telling me it's likened to you doing all the work, and then they come in after they had their fun or whatever they were doing, and they're like, okay, go ahead and give me some. And it's like, no. Because just as I had the time to invest in myself, and I had the time, and all this stuff was happening to me, and I, instead of fighting it, I went into hermit mode. I connected with the angels. I connected with the Divine Spirit. I was in gratitude. All the oil, the bottle of oil, is about the choices that you made to bring forth healing, to bring forth rejuvenation, reconnection to the Divine Spirit. All that happens over time. Love is built. Trust is built. Faith is built. It's all about agreement. And it's all about your choice. And so you can't simply hand that over. And what's so beautiful is that angels are with you. I remember, as I've stated before, I was in a choir in a church. It was the first time, and I think it was the last time too, but as I was singing in that choir, I asked the night before, please, I need angels that sing to be there with me. And as I was there, because I really wasn't connected to people in the church, I don't know, I was just... Anyway, so as we're getting there, and the excitement is there, and the people were nice. But what made me comfortable is that when I looked around, we were singing, I saw angels. To the left and the right. And they weren't really beside me. They were there and they were singing, and it was so beautiful. They were singing upwards. What I love is that I tried not to be so obvious, but it made me feel good. Somehow, even though I was around a lot of people, the angels that I saw there, it was only I think 2 that was there. But I remember one of the angels, and they were just singing. It's like they were in that moment. That was the moment. It was not about who is there. It's about the connection to the Divine Spirit, and just praying and singing and being in that energy and being joyful and glad in it. And it made me be at peace. And so, beautiful soul family, we have guardian angels that are with us. And sometimes you may see them and sometimes you may not. But for sure, right when the wicked one will come to attack you, they will be stopped in their tracks. So, angels do exist. We have archangels. Archangel Michael is about protection. And not just protection against people, but protecting you, preserving, okay? Archangel Raphael is about healing. Not just healing you, but healing situations. Archangel Gabriel is about messages, knowledge, wisdom. Archangel Uriel is about motivation, innovative ideas. There are myriads of archangels, but they're all directing you to go on your path. They're all directing you to go within. They're all protecting you. They're, you know, in the Bible it talks about how the prophet, I believe it was Elijah or Elisha, and so stricken with fear, gripped with fear. It was Elijah. And the servant was afraid. And he prayed, please open his eyes so that he can see. And he was able to see. These angels have been there the whole time. Don't for a second think that a situation is bigger than you. Don't for a second believe the hype that you're on all alone. That divine spirit doesn't care, because that is a lie. That's a lie. And it has already been debunked. Okay? In Matthew. What's that? Matthew. Matthew 23:56, I think. 26:53. In Matthew 26:53, it talks about how Yeshua could have called legions, prayed for legions of angels. But he didn't. And you must understand, yes, there are situations, but they're allowed for a reason. Don't get distracted and don't get disturbed. Continue to add oil. Continue to work on yourself. Continue to let your light shine. Keep focusing on divine spirit. Keep on enduring. Okay? And you will surely make it through. Have a beautiful and wonderful day. Namaste.